What's up, y'all? This your girl, Shay Nut, undergroundgirlsofhiphop.com. I got on the line with me, Miss D Woods. What's up, sweetie? How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm great.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I know there's a lot of things going on with Miss D Woods. We're going to get started with, like, what you're doing right now. What's going on ever since, the Danity Kane split and all that. What's in the future?
The thing that I want people to understand about me is that I've been performing. I've been on stage. I've been in the entertainment industry since I was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So while the Danity Kane situation, Making It Band situation, was definitely a blessing and definitely a great platform to end up doing, it was not the first thing. It's definitely not going to be the last thing. So when people ask me, so what are you doing now? What are you doing with your life now? It's like, I'm doing what I've always been doing. I'm an artist. I keep it moving, and I don't let one thing define me or my career or like my potential. So I've definitely just continued on with what I was doing before, during, and now, which is like I'm recording music. I'm working on some film and television projects that are on the horizon. And I'm actually I'm being my own boss. I'm being executive producer. I'm being the boss bitch, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's what's up.
The HNIC, as they say.
So you set it all up independent to come out, on your own thing, on your own label and stuff like that. Or are you still seeking a deal? Are you going to put a project together and shop it around for a deal? Or are you going to put it out?
Well, I'm putting a project together and seeking the right deal. You know what I mean?
Not just a deal.
Exactly. Right. Right. And then there's some definite prospects, but it's all about the right situation and the right timing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You said speak more about the right deal or whatever?
Yeah, the right deal is what I was going to say. Is with the situation with Diddy, would you say that just wasn't the right situation for you? What would you say was the harder the problem? Because at first it seemed like everything was good. Y'all was popping. I was like, okay, they doing their thing, and then out the blue, it was just like, oh, what's this going on? It was like, what the hell? So
nothing is ever just out the blue. You know what I mean? So there were definitely lots of problems just from the onset of from the whole situation. My story has never changed, although a lot of other people's has. Mm-hmm. And what I've always said from the beginning is just the structure and the foundation for the group was never stable, was never a healthy situation. Although we were 5 talented people, we were, there was a lot of elements that just worked together just because. But once you get past that, you got to have some real plans and strategies and real, people's best interests or people's careers' best interests at heart, and that wasn't there, ever.
It was more so the television show. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. You guys are definitely talented young ladies. Do you see yourself working with any of the other girls in the future?
You never know. Time will only tell. I didn't see myself working with them before I met them, so you just never know.
Okay.
You just never know. Things come together the way they're supposed to come together for a season and for a reason, as they say,
Yeah. So what would you say was the main thing that you learned from Diddy throughout this situation? Because we all know that he's a serious businessman and he get his on however he gets on. But what could you say was the biggest thing that you learned from Diddy?
I think what I really got out of that was what you just said. He's a shrewd businessman, and you see that more and more the closer that you are working with him, and you see that he's not going to let anything come in to his space that's gonna that's gonna conquer him. He's gonna master everything. He's just hell-bent, like, I'm going to win. So, like, being in somebody's presence, I mean, you can view that from the outside, but definitely from the inside, you really see that. And then you have to look within yourself and say, okay, I'm going to win, too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm going to win, too. Damn it, I'm a winner. So, like, it's just, like, it kind of, like, ignited more of that in me, where you have someone who is definitely challenging that. You know what I mean?
Because I've definitely seen that. Because, like, you were like an outspoken one. Like, at the reunion, you was like, I'm not holding back. This is what time it is with me. You know what I mean? And I was like, what's up? Like, she gonna stand up for herself. Like, I don't,
Yeah, I think, I mean, I've always been that way. I don't say a lot until it's like, okay, well, you asked me, so I'm going to tell the truth. And that was, that was a lot of my position in the group Danity Kane. Like, I was, me and Aubrey, we were basically, the ones to deal with a lot of the difficult subject matters and stand up and fight for whatever we were fighting for. And so with that being said, we were kind of depicted as the problem. You know what I mean? Because we were the ones asking questions. We were the ones not just saying yes, yes, yes. We were the ones saying, well, wait a minute. You know what I mean? It's all about the time and the place and how you do it, not what you say, but how you say it.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I definitely I was always, over, trying to be, respectful and not step on anybody's toes, but at the same time, not let anybody step on me.
Exactly.
When you're in an establishment that's not really in the business of having individuals with individual minds and speaking out on an individuality, you kind of get, that's a problem. And I feel like that's kind of what happened.
But you always got to stand up for yourself, because if you don't, who will? At the end of the day, so we can all respect that. So coming up on future projects, enough of, the past, let's move on more to the future. We're working on a project. Do you have an idea of what that project is going to sound like?
Yes, I do. I've been, like I said, I've definitely recording, definitely doing a lot of that.
Is it mostly R&B, or is it going to be, is it R&B hip hop? What would you say the project is?
I would say it's definitely like cross genre, because I am such a chameleon. I have been, so exposed to so many sounds and so many different, things in my experience. I'm a very theatrical person. I studied theater. I studied, modern contemporary dance. So my mind kind of works in a very artsy way, a very alternative way. However, I'm a child of like the hip hop generation, so it's just like, I don't even have to think about that part. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Only thinking about how to do something, better than I've seen it done. And so I'm mixing a lot of that stuff together. It's definitely high energy, and it's like on another. This is like on another chapter of what you. It's familiar. Yeah, it's familiar, but at the same time, you've never seen it before.
That's what's up. Now I hear. Are you working with a group? It was a female group mentioned.
No, that's been. It's been very much misconstrued.
Okay, let's get it clear.
The crew of females that I collaborate with, events, it's a support system. It's like a sorority, and
so everybody
it's called the Girl Club.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Girl Club.
Oh,
and we have different, individuals who are artists, who are writers, who are dancers, who are actresses, who are radio personalities, who are stylists, who are, film and TV producers, who are, philanthropists. And, we've just been, combining our strengths and backing each other up where we feel we need each other, because females usually don't back each other up.
Exactly.
And it is definitely something that I started with two of my really close counterparts, two artists by the name of Chanel, aka SNL, and Mika Bean. And we've been performing together and doing stuff together since high school. And we started doing showcases, throwing parties, and going to the studio and writing with each other. Just because it's hard as a female just coming up in this industry by yourself. It's usually a big crew of dudes. Right, it's usually a big crew of dudes and one chick, and then they look at the chick as like the jump off, or they look at her as, you know what I'm saying, something not respected or whatever. Oh, these dudes is writing her rhymes for her, or oh, she can't make her own decisions, she just whatever. And it's like, you know what? No.